Hallo, guten Nachmittag. Mein Name ist Daphne Salinas und mein Team und ich werden unser Abschlussprojekt von Nuvemshop präsentieren. Hello, good evening. My name is Daphne Salinas and my team and I will be talking about our PIA, which is a unicorn company called Nuvemshop. Über das Unternehmen. Nuvemshop in spanischsprachigen Ländern auch als Tienda Nube bekannt, ist ein Aushändisch in Argentinien gegründetes Technologieunternehmen, das eine SaaS-basierte E-Commerce-Plattform anbietet. Sie ermöglicht es Unternehmen Online-Shops einfach zu erstellen, zu verwalten und zu skalieren und zählt heute zu den führenden E-Commerce-Plattformen in Lateinamerika. This is the introduction of the company. Nuvemshop, also known as Tienda Nube, is in Spanish-speaking countries, is a technology company founded in 2011 in Argentina that offers an e-commerce platform under the SaaS or software service model. Its main objective is to enable entrepreneurs and businesses to create, manage, and scale their own online stores without requiring advanced technical knowledge. Currently, Nuvemshop operates in several Latin American countries, including Brazil, Mexico, Argentina, Chile, and Colombia, positioning itself as one of the leading e-commerce platforms in the region. Additionally, it integrates key tools such as payments, logistics, and marketing, facilitating businesses' digitalization and the growth of e-commerce. Die wichtigsten Produkte. An E-Commerce-Plattform oder Nuvemshop, SaaS-Plattform zum Erstellen und Verwalten von Online-Shops. Nuvemshop Next, eine Premium-Lösung für große und wachsende Unternehmen. Und Nuvemchat, KI, ein KI-Tool zur Automatisierung von Kundenservice und Verkaufen über WhatsApp. These are the most important products of the company. First, we have obviously the e-commerce platform called Nuvemshop. It is Nuvemshop's, as I said, main product as a software as a service platform that allows users to easily create, manage, and scale their online shops or stores. It includes features such as customizable design, product catalog management, integrated payments, logistic solutions, and artificial intelligence tools to automate tasks and improve conversion rates. Then we have Nuvemshop Next, which is their advanced solution for high-volume businesses. It offers a more robust infrastructure, greater customization capabilities, complex integrations, and specialized support. With a dedicated account manager, it is designed to scale large operations with high performance and stability. And finally, we have the Nuvemchat with AI. This is an artificial intelligence-powered virtual assistant integrated with WhatsApp that automates customer service and sales. It can answer questions, recommend products, generate orders, and enable payments without leaving the chat. It operates 24/7 and adapts to the brand's tone and style. Die Hauptkonkurrenten von Nuvemshop. Shopify, cloud-basierte E-Commerce-Plattform, mit der man einfach Online-Shops erstellen, verwalten und erweitern kann, mit Hosting, integrierten Zahlungen, Vorlagen und vielen Apps für den digitalen Verkauf. Und Hostinger WooCommerce, Open-Source Plugin für WordPress, das Websites und Online-Shops verwalten mit voller Kontrollen, Willen, Erweiterungen und Flexibilität für verschiedene digitale Geschäftsmodelle. Now we have the most important competitors of Nuvemshop. We have huge platform which is called Shopify. I think this is the best example of a competitor for Nuvemshop because I think all of us maybe have heard of it. Shopify is a popular and comprehensive e-commerce platform that allows users to create and manage online stores easily without requiring advanced technical knowledge. It offers features such as responsive design with template, product management, multiple payment methods, integrated marketing tools such as SEO, email, and ads, and performance analytics. Additionally, it enables sales across multiple channels such as social media, marketplaces, and even physical stores, all with 24/7 support as well. The main difference between Shopify and Nuvemshop is that although both are user-friendly SaaS platforms, Shopify has a more global focus and highly scalable infrastructure, while Nuvemshop still is more tailored to the is it is more tailored, sorry, to the Latin American market, offering integration, support, and payment solutions adapt to the region. And next we have WooCommerce, and WooCommerce is an open source e-commerce platform as well, designed to integrate with WordPress, allowing users to turn websites into fully customizable online stores. It stands out for its flexibility, wide variety of plugins, multiple payment options, and full control over data. And it is ideal for those seeking a scalable and highly adaptable solution with the ability to adjust investment as the business grows. The sorry, the main difference between hosting your WooCommerce and Nuvemshop is that unlike Nuvemshop, WooCommerce is not a SaaS solution, but an open source platform, which means greater control and customization, but also higher technical complexity. In contrast, Nuvemshop offers a simpler, ready-to-use solution without the need to manage infrastructure or technical development.
Hallo, ich bin Eduardo und ich will Ihnen erzählen die Finanzierung und Investoren-Seite auf Nuvemshop. Nuvemshop hat zwischen 2001 2011 und 2021 in mehreren Finanzierungsrunden rund 628 Millionen USD aufgenommen. Das Unternehmen hat Frühphasen, Wachstums- und Sparphasenfinanzierung durchlaufen, was eine kleine Entwicklung Series Capital zeigt. Die letzte Bewertung lag bei etwa 3,1 Milliarden USD, womit das Unternehmen als Einhorn im lateinamerikanischen Technologiesektor gilt. Here we have that Nuvemshop raised between these 10 years approximately $628 million in multiple series of funding that I'm gonna briefly explain to you. The company went through the early stage to the growth stage and then the late stage of investing between these 10 years I told you. Its latest valuation was around 3.1 billion USD, making it a unicorn in the Latin American technology sector. Here we have that to a company to be a unicorn, it has to be a private company that is worth over $1 billion in the first 10 years that it was created. The Finanzierungszeitplan, the Frühphase. In der Frühphase hat Nuvemshop relativ geringe Kapitalbeträge aufgenommen. Erste, we have the Angelrunde, circa 300 USD aufgenommen. Then the Series B, it was 7 Millionen USD aufgenommen. Diese Mittel wurden hauptsächlich verwendet, die Plattform zu entwickeln, das Geschäftsmodell zu validieren und einen Produktmarkenfit zu erreichen. Einer der wichtigen Investoren in dieser Phase war Kasek, der das Unternehmen auch in späteren Finanzierungsrunden weiterhin und unterstützen. As I told you, this is the early stage. During this stage, this was divided by two rounds. First, we have the angel round that they funded nearly 300,000 US dollars, and the second round was 6 years later, in which they get 7 million US dollars in funding. And these were used mainly to develop the platform, validate the business model, and achieve the product market fit that they needed at that time to gain certain respect and to be able to attract these next investors in the next phases that that the Nuvemshop had. Uh, when Kasek joined these investings, I think this was very important point of inflection for Nuvemshop because they gained like a certain respect and validation in front of the other companies and the Latin America market. And this was, as I said, very important in Nuvemshop funding. The Die Faktumsphase begann mit der Serie C-Runde im Jahr 2020. It was 30 Millionen USD. Zu diesem Zeitpunkt hatte das Unternehmen sein Geschäftsmodell bereits validiert und begann seine Aktivitäten zu skalieren. Das Kapital wurde verwendet, um in neue Märkte in Lateinamerika zu expandieren, die Technologie und die Plattform zu stärken und die Kundengewinnung zu stärken. This was the growth phase when they began with the Series C in 2020, and they were able to receive $30 million in funding. And as we can see, this was almost more than 4 times the funding they get in the previous round funding. And this was because the COVID-19. When the COVID-19 began, Nuvemshop had a big explosion in their sales, their customers, and everything because with the pandemic, we saw that the e-commerce sites and platforms were the main point of where the customers can bought their products, and these came here to stay because nowadays we see that all these companies are still very strong in their markets. And the capital that was funded in the Series C was used for expand into the new Latin American markets to strengthen its technology and to increase customer acquisition. Die Spätphase im Jahr 2021 trat Nuvemshop in eine Phase aggressiver Skalierung ein und führte 2 große Finanzierungsrunden durch. Die Series D, äh, 29 Millionen USD angeführt von Axel. Die Series E, etwas 500 Millionen USD von Inside Partners und Tiger Global. Diese Runden brachten große internationale Investoren ein und zeigen ein starkes Vertrauen in das Wachstumspotenzial des Unternehmens. Das Kapital wurde wahrscheinlich für eine schnelle Expansion, den Aufbau von Personal sowie zur Stärkung der Wettbewerbsposition gegenüber globalen Anbietern wie Shopify angesetzt. Here we have that in 2021, they have their late stage founding, and Nuvemshop entered an aggressive scaling phase with these two major funding rounds. We have first the Series D that they were able to get $90 million. We are talking that this is 3 times bigger than their last round funding. And this was led by Axel Series. And then we have that they have in that same year the Series E um, funding round. Then we can see that here in this last funding round they have like nearly 90 90% of all the money they get from all their rounding funds. And this was very important because partners like Insight and Tiger Global make this they have a large fund to be able to increase the market and hiring new people and strengthening its competitiveness position against the global players like Daphne was telling us, like Shopify, because they are attacking only the Latin American market. Wir haben die wichtigen Investoren. Nuvemshop hat eine Mischung aus regionalen und globalen Venture-Capital-Gesellschaften angezogen. Kasek, de frühe und wiederkehrende Investor, Axel, Tiger Global, Insight Partners, Qualcomm Ventures. Die Präsenz wiederkehrender Investoren deutet auf ein langfristiges Vertrauen und die Strategie und Umsetzung des Unternehmens hin. Die einzig globale Fonds spiegelt eine internationale Validierung des Geschäftsmodells wider. Here we have the most important investing partners that Nuvemshop had during these 10 years. We have that they attracted a mix of regional and global venture capital firms as Kasek, that were the main investor in the early and was the most recurring investor that they have during the early phase, that well gave them all the tools that they need in that time, that maybe it wasn't like most money that they spent like Tiger Global or Qualcomm Ventures, but that that $7 million that they invested at that time in 2011, it was very important for the presence that Nuvemshop has now. And I think Kasek was one of the most important partners that they have during these 10 years that they were receiving the funding from different companies. But they have as well Axel, Tiger Global, Insight Partners, Welcome Ventures, and I think that the presence of these investors during these 10 years, some of them like 5 to 3 years, talks to the investors that Nuvemshop is a company that you can trust, and they build serious confidence with all these venture capital firms. And this was very important for the Nuvemshop final series of rounds, that where they get uh, nearly $600 million. Die Finanzierungsanalyse. Wir haben das Finanzierungsverhalten vom Nuvemshop, sagt eine starke Konzentration des Kapital in der Spätphase, insbesondere im Jahr 2021, in dem allein die Serie C-Runde der Großteil des gesamten Kapitals ausmacht. Dieses deutet darauf hin, dass das Unternehmen früh ein Produkt-Market-Fit erreicht hat und sich anschließend auf eine aggressive Skalierung konzentrierte, nach dem Geschäftsmodell validiert war. Die Beteiligung von wiederkehrenden Investoren wie Kasek weist auf ein langfristiges Vertrauen hin, während der Einstieg globaler Fonds wie Tiger Global und Insight Partners eine internationale Validierung des Wachstumspotenzials des Unternehmens darstellt. Darüber hinaus fällt der starke Anstieg der Finanzierung mit dem E-Commerce-Boom während der Covid-19-Pandemie zusammen, der die Nachfrage und Expansionsmöglichkeiten beschleunigt hat. Here we have the finance analysis that I made from the Nuvemshop funding rounds. We have that in the early phases, they were able to get some serious funding, not as many as in the later funding rounds, but it was very important for the company to make this 7 million, these $300,000 that they made at the beginning. And we can see that this validated the model that they had, and later with the COVID-19 and the e-commerce boom, they really captivated the attentions of many venture capital firms that were more serious about this business model, and they were able to grow at a much even faster pace and aggressive pace, that they were able to captivate the Latin America market and be a serious contender for the battle with Shopify. And yes, this was the finance rounds and finance analysis that I made.
Schulden und Kapitalstruktur. Jetzt geht es die Schulden und die Kapitalstruktur von Nuvemshop. Bei diesem Punkt ist es wichtig zu sagen, dass es keine öffentlich zugänglichen Daten über die genaue Höhe der Finanzschulden gibt. Das liegt daran, dass Nuvemshop ein privates Unternehmen ist, ein deshalb nicht verpflichtet ist, alle finanziellen offen zu veröffentlichen. Trotzdem zeigen die beruflichen Informationen, dass Unternehmen hauptsächlich durch Venture-Kapital finanziert wurde. Nuvemshop hat mehr als 7 Millionen US-Dollar erhalten und wurde in Gefalt. Der dadurch erreichte unter den sozusagen Unicorn-Status. Ein Unicorn ist ein Status, das Berechnung von mehr als 1 Milliarde US-Dollar erreicht. Übernehmen die finanziellen Gründen bis zur Series E, das Nuvemshop. Auch wenn keine genaue finanzielle Meldung öffentlich bekannt ist, kann man nicht auslegen, dass es eine Berlimkeit gibt. Dazu gehören zum Beispiel Laufenbergskleide, Operationskosten oder monatliche Kreditlinien. Liefernverbindlichkeiten können erstens beim des Unternehmen, das der Software, Marketing oder technische Infrastruktur nutzt und dafür Standard leisten muss. Operativkosten unbefallen wichtig bei einer Digitalplattform wie Nuvemshop, Standing in Technologie, Mitarbeiter, Kundensupport, Server und Schneider investieren muss. Das Bedeutet auf Nuvemshop willen keine Honnesweiten Bewertung hat, gibt es trotzdem finanziell Verpflichtungen am laufenden Betrieb. For this point, in this moment of the first day, say that there is no publicly available data about the exact amount of the company financial debt. This is because Nuvemshop is a private company. However, the available information shows that the company has mainly financed through venture capital. Nuvemshop has received more than 600 million US dollar in investment and was valued approximately in 3.1 billion US dollar. Because of this, the company reached what is known as unicorn status. In addition, the financial rounds went up to Series E. This means that Nuvemshop did not only receive capital in this early stage, but also able to attract investors across several funding rounds. A Series C normally shows that company has already reached an advanced growth stage. Therefore, we can say that Nuvemshop capital structure is probably based more on equity than on debt. Debt means that the company borrows money and later has to pay it back. Equity, on the other hand, means that investors put money into the company and receive the ownership shares in return. And for Nuvemshop, this structure can be advanced because the company does not have high interest payments immediately. This is also more to be invested in growth, technology, marketing, and expansion. At the same time, this type of financing also brings pressure. Investors usually expect fast growth, increase in revenue, and clear long-term profitability. This means that Nuvemshop must show that its business model can not only grow, but also generate profits in a sustainable way. Even though that the exact financial debt is not publicly known, we cannot exclude the possibility that the company has internal liabilities. These may include accounts payable to suppliers, operating costs, or possible credit lines. Accounts payable may arise when the company uses service, software, marketing, or technological infrastructure, and has to pay for them. Operating costs are also very important because digital platforms like Nuvemshop must constantly invest in technology, employees, customers, support servers, and security. This means that even if Nuvemshop may not have visibility debt, it still has financial obligation in its daily operations. Finanzielle Analyse und Risiko. Jetzt komme ich finanzielles Risiko, auch unsichtbar hohen Kohlen bestachen ein relevantes finanzielles Risiko, das haben Problem Leitheit übernimmt in der Bezahlung selbst, sondern in anderen Faktoren. Der erste Faktor ist die starke Abhängigkeit von Investorkapital. Da Nuvemshop stark Venture-Kapital gewachsen ist, hängt ein Teil der finanziellen Stabilität davon ab, ob Investoren weitere Vertrauen in das Unternehmen haben. Wenn der Markt positiv ist und Investoren ein weiteres Besteigung glauben, kann das Unternehmen leichter neues Kapital bekommen. Wenn Investoren jedoch vorsichtig werden oder wenig Risiko eingehen wollen, kann es schwer werden, neue finanzielle Gurten zu erhalten. Der zweite Faktor ist der hohe Druck, was der Instabilität umzuwandeln. Viele Startups konzentrieren sich einfach stark am Wachstum. Sie investieren viel Geld in die neuen Kunden, Neumarketing und Technologieentwicklung. Das Problem ist aber, dass Wachstum allein nicht ausreicht. Langfristig muss ein Unternehmen zeigen, dass aus diesem Wachstum auch Gewinne machen kann. Bei Nuvemshop ist das bekommst, weil Unternehmen ein E-Commerce-Plattform anbietet, es viele Kunden gewinnen sie auf der Plattform halten in der gleichen Genug Einnahmen erzielen, um die Kosten zu decken. Wenn die Kunden passt, aber die Kosten non schnell steigen, kann das zu einem finanziellen Problem werden. Deshalb ist die Rehabilität ein Zentralpunkt. Der dritte Faktor ist die Kosten durch Expansion und Technologieentwicklung. Eine Plattform wie Nuvemshop muss ständig aktualisiert und bestrafen werden. Dazu gehören neue Funktionen, selten Entsalgungssysteme, Logistikdenken, Kundensupport, Interagieren mit anderen digitalen Tools. Unternehmen kann internationale Expansion tercero, weil este anderen Marktbedingungen, Bargun, Saudenmodell und Justiz. Und vor der Rückgrat, dadurch steigen die Kosten auch wie die Expansion mehr erfüllen kann. Der vierte Faktor ist der wollten Nuvemshop conquer mit globalen Plattformen wie Shopify. Shopify ist international sehr bekannt und hat eine starke Marktposition. Deshalb muss Nuvemshop weiter investieren, um konkurrenzfähig zu bleiben. Das kann zum Beispiel Pensionären, eigene Presse, besseren Support oder mehr lokale Anpassung bedeuten. Debt to Equity würden sagen, wie stark das Unternehmen zu Schulen im Berry zu ein Kapital finanzieres ist. Für Nuvemshop war das interessant, weil man damit genau sagen konnte, wie aufwendig das Unternehmen von Fremdkapital oder inversionäre Kapital ist. Liquidität würden sagen, ob das Unternehmen kurzfristige Mittel hat, um laufenden Besparingen zu bezahlt gehalten, lieferten oder operationellen Ausgaben. Rentabilität würden zeigen, ob Nuvemshop wirklich wenig Asset oder ob das Unternehmen noch stark vom externen Kapital abhängig ist. Da diese Daten nicht offline befunden sind, kann man keine genau Berufung machen. Man kann daher sagen, dass die finanzielle Risiko vor allem in der Übersagen Gewinne und Cashflow liegt. Damit kann sagen, dass Nuvemshop stark eine Woche Bestellung seid, aber trotzdem finanzielle Risiken hat, Portalen durch die abgekittet vom Investment Capital steigenden Kosten und starten weltweit. Even without high visibility debt, there is still a relevant financial risk. The main problem is not necessarily the debt itself, but other factors. The first factor is a strong dependence on investors' capital. Since Nuvemshop has grown significantly through venture capital, part of its financial stability depends on whatever investor continue to trust the company. If the market is positive and investors believe in the further growth, the company can obtain capital more easily. However, if investors become more cautious or want to take less risk, it may become more difficult to obtain new funding rounds. The second factor is highly pressure to turn growth into profitability. Many startups focus strongly on growth at the beginning. They invest a lot of money in customers, new markets, marketing, technological development. However, the problem is that growth alone is not enough. Is the long term, a company must show it can also generate profits from the growth. For Nuvemshop, this is especially important because the company offers an e-commerce platform. It needs to acquire many customers to keep them on the platform and at the same time generate enough revenue to cover its cost. If the number of customers grows, but costs grow even faster, this can even have a financial problem. That is why profitability is a central point. The third factor is rising the cost due to expansion and technology development. A platform like Nuvemshop must constantly update and improve. This includes new features like security, payment system, logistics solution, customer support, and integration with other digital tools. In addition, international expansion can be expensive because each country has different market currency, payment methods, and legal requirements. As a result, cost increase even if expansion can bring more customers. The fourth factor is competitive pressure. Nuvemshop competes with global factors such as Shopify. Shopify is well known internationally, has a strong market position. Therefore, Nuvemshop must continue for investing in order to remain competitive. This could mean better features, lower price, and better support or more local adaptation. Since completely financial data is not available, important indicators such as debt to equity, liquidity, or profitability cannot be calculated exactly. Liquidity will not whenever the company has enough short-term resources to pay its current obligations, such as salary, supplies, or very expensive. Profitability will show where Nuvemshop is actually generating profits. Since the data is not publicly available and exact calculation cannot be made. Therefore, Nuvemshop must prove that its growth is sustainable in long term. This means that the company must control its growth, attract more customers, and at the same time compete against strong competitors. So we can say that although Nuvemshop do not show high visibility debt, it still faces financial risk, especially because it depends on investor capital, rising costs, and strong competition.
Kundenwachstum. Auf diese Folie sehen wir das Kundenwachstum von Nuvemshop. Das Unternehmen hat in den letzten Jahren ein sehr starkes Wachstum gezeigt, besonders in Lateinamerika. Zwischen 2015 und 2019 hatte Nuvemshop ein konstantes jährliches Wachstum von etwa 15%. Das ist ein sehr hoher Wert und zeigt, dass immer mehr kleine und mittlere Unternehmen begonnen haben, digitale Plattformen zu nutzen. Ein wichtiger Grund dafür ist die zunehmende Digitalisierung. Viele Unternehmen haben erkannt, dass sie online präsent sein müssen, um wettbewerbsfähig zu bleiben. Besonders kleine Unternehmen brauchen einfache und zugängliche Lösungen und genau das bietet Nuvemshop. Ein entscheidender Moment für das Wachstum war die Covid-19-Pandemie. Deshalb waren sie gezwungen, schnell auf den Online-Verkauf umzusteigen. In nur wenigen Monaten stieg die Anzahl der Händler auf der Plattform. Das ist ein sehr starkes Wachstum in kurzer Zeit. Dieses Beispiel zeigt, wie externe Faktoren das Wachstum eines Unternehmens stark beeinflussen können. Die Pandemie hat als Katalysator für die digitale Transformation gewirkt. Es ist auch wichtig zu sagen, dass dieses Wachstum nicht nur kurzfristig war. Viele dieser neuen Kunden sind geblieben und nutzen die Plattform weiterhin. Here we can see the customer growth that Nuvemshop have along the years it has worked. This table shows the growth it had. It demonstrated a customer growth that was very rapid in the Latin American market. According to the CEO Santiago Sosa in an interview, he said that between 2015 and 2019, Nuvemshop had an annual growth rate of around 50%. This is a very big number and a very big rate. It shows that more and more small and medium-sized businesses started using digital platforms like Nuvemshop. One of the main reasons for this growth was the global digitalization. Many businesses realized that in order to stay competitive in this market, they need to be online. Small businesses in particular needed simple and accessible tools, which is exactly what Nuvemshop provides for its customers. A key moment for this growth was the COVID-19 pandemic. As we all know, during this time, many businesses had to close their physical stores and reduce operations, so they moved all their operations to an online platform. As a result, the number of merchants increased from about 25,000 to 80,000 in Nuvemshop in just a few months, which shows a very rapid expansion. This shows that external factors can strongly influence the business growth. It is also important to mention that this growth was not temporary. Many of these businesses continue using the platform even when we stop being in in shutdown, and it shows that they found long-term value in e-commerce and Nuvemshop. Umsatzwachstum. Auf diese Folie sehen wir das Umsatzwachstum von Nuvemshop. Neben der steigenden Anzahl an Kunden ist auch das Verkaufsvolumen stark gestiegen. Während der Pandemie stieg das monatliche Verkaufsvolumen von etwa 20 Millionen auf 100 Millionen US-Dollars. Das entspricht einer Verfünffachung in kurzer Zeit. Dieses Wachstum ist besonders wichtig, weil es zeigt, dass nicht nur mehr Unternehmen die Plattform nutzen, sondern dass diese Unternehmen auch erfolgreich verkaufen. Das bedeutet, dass Nuvemshop nicht nur Nutzer gewinnt, sondern auch echten wirtschaftlichen Wert schafft. Die Plattform unterstützt Unternehmen dabei, ihre Produkte effektiv zu verkaufen. Nach der Pandemie hat sich dieses Wachstum fortgesetzt. Nuvemshop konnte seine Marktpositionen weiter stärken und mehr Händler sowie mehr Transaktionen gewinnen. Bis zum Jahr 2025 generierten die Händler auf der Plattform in 6 Monaten etwa 900 Millionen US-Dollars am Verkaufen. Das zeigt ein sehr starkes und nachhaltiges Wachstum. Ein Grund für diesen Erfolg ist die kontinuierliche Verbesserung der Plattform. Nuvemshop bietet bessere Tools, verschiedene Zahlungsmethoden und logistische Unterstützung. Zusammenfassend kann man sagen, dass das Umsatzwachstum zeigt, wie stark das Gesamtökosystem der Plattform geworden ist. Here we can see the sales growth that Nuvemshop had during its start. Along with the increase in customers, also the sales volume also grew significantly, as well as the customer growth. During the pandemic, monthly sales increased from about 20 million that Nuvemshop had to 100 million US-dollars, which represents a fivefold increase in a short period of time. This growth is important because it shows that not only more businesses were using the platform, but they were also successful in selling their products. This means that Nuvemshop is not only attracting users, but also generating real economic value to the customers. The platform helps businesses sell their products effectively. After the pandemic, this growth continued. Nuvemshop strengthened its position in the market and kept increasing both merchants and transactions. By 2024, merchants on the platform generated around 900 million US-dollars in total sales, showing strong and sustained growth. One reason for this success is that Nuvemshop is constantly improving their platform. They offer tools, better payment methods, and also a logistical support.
Letzte wichtige Projekte. Nuvenpago oder Zahlungen, Investition von über 6 Millionen USD, eine integrierte Zahlungslösung, mit der Unternehmen Zahlungen direkt im Shop verwalten können. Sie unterstützt Karten, Kleingeld- und Ratenzahlungen und verbessert den Bezahlprozess sowie die Kontrolle über die Finanzen. Und Nuvemchat KI auf WhatsApp, Investitionen von 11 Millionen USD, ein KI-Tool, das den Kundenservice und den Verkauf über WhatsApp automatisiert. Es beantwortet Fragen, empfiehlt Produkte und verarbeitet Bestellungen und ist rund um die Uhr verfügbar mit einem personalisierten Erlebnis. This is the latest projects that Nuvemshop has. First, we have Nuvempago or payments. This was an investment of over $6 million. It's an integrated payment solution that allows businesses to manage transactions within their store, supporting multiple payment methods like cards, cash, and installments, while improving checkout and financial control. They also have their newest acquisition that could be Nuvemchat AI on WhatsApp. This was an investment of $11 million, and it's an AI tool that automates customer service and sales on WhatsApp by answering questions, recommending products, and processing orders, operating 24/7 as well with a personalized experience. Abschluss. Nuvemshop zeigt ein starkes Wachstum durch frühen Product-Market-Fit, strategische Finanzierung und schnelle Expansion. Dieses Projekt zeigt, wie wichtig Innovation, Skalierbarkeit und Anpassung an den Markt sind. Es zeigt auch, wie externe Faktoren und Investitionen den Erfolg beeinflussen und wie wichtig langfristige Rentabilität in wettbewerbsintensiven digitalen Märkten ist. We can conclude as a team that Nuvemshop demonstrate strong growth driven by early product market fit strategic funding, and obviously, as we have already speak about, the rapid expansion that it had due to the pandemic. This project highlights the importance of innovation, scalability, and adapting to market changes. It also shows that external factors and investment strategies can shape success while emphasizing the need for sustainable profitability in competitive digital markets. And we are going to give our personal conclusions now. I can personally conclude that this project it was a challenge because we didn't have a lot of public information. It was more about understanding and analyzing the company, not just looking at financial statements or exact numbers like we done in previous semesters. In the case of Nuvemshop, since it's a private company and we don't have full access to all the detailed financial data, that pushed me personally to think more critically and rely on other indicators like growth, valuation, and market expansion. One of the most important things I learned is the difference between growth and profitability. Nuvemshop shows strong growth in terms of users, sales, and regional presence, but that does not necessarily mean that is already a highly profitable company. This connects directly with the key concepts that we have already been seeing in the like risk, capital structure, and sustainability. I also found it interesting how the company depends heavily on investor funding instead of debt, which changes completely the type of financial risk it faces. In this case, the risk is more about maintaining growth and meeting investor expectations rather than managing financial leverage. Overall, this project gave me a more realistic perspective on how startups operate in real life, especially in emerging markets like Latin America. It helped me develop a more analytical and strategic mindset, which I believe will be very useful as I move forward in my professional career. Thank you.
What I can conclude for making this project was that, as Savna said, this was a bit of a challenge because we don't have any public information of the company, but we mainly worked on some of the news that the company shared and mainly with the data like the funding rounds and all of these things that we can see how the company is going well or bad based on these founding rounds because we see the the serious and the growing stages that this company is, like Nuvemshops. We saw that they were in the early stages, just gaining some funds to be able to grow a little and then be able to pass from the first investing round of $300,000 to be able to, in a single year, uh, be able to take in like $590 million. I think we can solder much of a company, and we can see that they rely on investors rather than debt. That and this puts, I think, a great risk and stress on the company and their directors, but they will able to manage and sort these things out, and they are growing year after year, and they are able now to compare in a few years with Shopify and these great chains of the industry.
I learned a lot in the process of making this project and a lot of interviews. One thing that I learned about them is that in an interview their CEO talked about how much investment they had won or how much investors are interested in the platform, but also how it can be very damaging to them because sometimes they can grow as fast as their investors want, so they have that pressure of providing good results. And watching how they have used these investments in bettering their platform is very important because a lot of companies they get an investment but they don't know how to use it and they waste it. So it's important to learn ways in which they can use these investments.
In conclusion, for me, Nuvemshop does not seem to have a major visibility problem with financial debt and all like that. Since it's a private company, there is not public information to calculate the exact financial indicator, so it was so difficult. However, the main financial risk is not only related to debt. The company depends on a strong investors' capital. Nuvemshop has received a large amount of investment and reached unicorn status, which shows how strong investor confidence. But at the same time, the company must prove the business model can generate stable revenues and possibly cash flow in a long term. Overall, Nuvemshop financial situation depends on its ability to control costs, attract and retain paying customer, and compete with a strong platform like Shopify. So even if the company does not show highly public debt, it still faces important financial risks related to growth, profitability, and market competition.
Vielen Dank für Ihre Aufmerksamkeit.